People think dysphoria and dysmorphia are the same thing. They're not. What is the difference between dysphoria and dysmorphia? Body dysmorphia and gender dysphoria is two very different things. Body dysmorphia is related to your body and your body alone, and not necessarily your gender. Say somebody looks in the mirror, whether they're trans, cis, whatever, and if they want like bigger boobs, smaller boobs, a bigger belly, flatter belly, bigger muscles, no muscles, whatever. If you are not happy with your body and there are things that you want to actively change with your body, that is called body dysmorphia. Gender dysphoria is directly linked to your gender and whatever you perceive to be masculine, feminine, and anything in between. So if I, as an example, had really short hair and I wasn't doing my waist training, I was just like carrying myself like I used to, I would feel gender dysphoria because I am linking that to masculinity and being a man. The huge difference here is there isn't a specific thing that is like, oh, these goes under gender dysphoria. It is completely linked to you and you as a person and nothing else. So whatever you find to be linked to masculinity, femininity, and everything in between is completely up to you and your own definition of it. So if I say, oh, cutting my hair would make or would trigger my dysphoria, that doesn't mean, oh, to be a woman you need to have long hair. That is just a me specific thing and not necessarily like for everybody else. Do you need to be dysphoric or even experience gender dysphoria to be trans? No! No, you don't. Who the fuck is like, yes, you have to feel shit to really be trans? That doesn't make any sense. If you don't fall under the stereotypical gender norms and you do not agree necessarily with your assigned gender at birth, you technically go under the umbrella term of trans. You don't necessarily want to even transition. You don't necessarily want to do too much to yourself regarding your gender. If you don't fully agree with your assigned gender at birth, technically, and only technically, you fall under the umbrella term of trans. You can also experience dysphoria, gender dysphoria, without being trans as well. Both cis and trans people can experience gender dysphoria and body dysmorphia without it necessarily being linked to your transness or being even cis. There are multiple cis people that I know that are not happy with their body and would like to change it. That goes under body dysmorphia and has nothing to do with them being trans or even a gender. It's just them not being happy with their body. And gender dysphoria can also happen to cis people because there are times where you can wake up and just not feel that close or linked to your gender, which goes under the term gender dysphoria. Doesn't make that person trans. What is so annoying is that people think of these terms and link them only to trans people because they go quickly hand in hand. Like, of course, a lot of trans people have body dysmorphia, especially when they feel like the body they were born in isn't necessarily theirs or isn't right for them. And of course, it goes linked to their gender dysphoria because if you are trans and you don't agree with the gender you were assigned at birth, of course you're going to potentially experience gender dysphoria. But it doesn't mean that you're not trans or that you're more trans because you experience any of them. You're just as valid as a person and in your transness, whether you experience gender dysphoria or body dysmorphia or not. If you are trans and you want to actively transition, whether you're transfem, transmasc, or non-binary or whatever, if you do not agree with your assigned gender at birth, and you want to transition or change that in some way, and you don't experience body dysmorphia or gender dysphoria, more power to you, and I hope you never ever do. It doesn't make you less trans, it doesn't make you less non-binary or anything. It just means that you are lucky in the straw poll of mental shit fuckery. And a lot of people online need to stop linking their pain to their transness or to being valid. You can be just as valid whatever you're going through mentally and physically, no matter what. Just because you experience gender dysphoria, you're having really shitty days, and you're having really shitty thoughts about yourself and about your body and about your transness or your gender, doesn't mean that you are more or less valid than somebody who doesn't. It just means that you have a really shitty day. And that's it.